Honorable Pradeep Kumar Gewali, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Your Excellency Mr. Salahuddin Noman Chowdhury, Ambassador of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, other dignitaries from Bangladesh Embassy, former NCWA presidents, and distinguished members of the NCWA, the media representatives, and ladies and gentlemen. With an immense sense of pleasure and privilege, on behalf of NCWA, I would like to welcome you all on this important webinar event organized to mark the state visit to Bangladesh by Right Honorable President of Nepal, Mrs. Bidya Devi Bhandari, followed by the dialogue on bilateral cooperation between Bangladesh and Nepal. This visit by Nepal's president assumes a special significance on the eve of birth centenary celebration of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Bangabandhu's contribution to the birth of Bangladesh as an independent nation and his vision of Solar Bangla is a matter of great inspiration for us in Nepal. Well, the relations between Bangladesh and Nepal, established half a century back in 1971, has been consistent and growing steadily on both bilateral and multilateral fronts. The recent state visit of Nepal's president has added new dimensions to the very friendly and cordial relations existing between the two countries. We in NCWA feel very much privileged today to have His Excellency Mr. Salahuddin Noman Chowdhury as the guest speaker and Honorable Mr. Pradeep Kumar Gewali, Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs, as the chief speaker to mark this very important occasion. The floor would also be open for our esteemed NCWA members and guests for their queries and comments. With this short note, I would like to request Mr. Hemant Khalil, NCWA President, for his welcome and introductory remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Umeshji. Honorable Pradeep Kumar Gewali, Minister for Foreign Affairs in Nepal, His Excellency Mr. Salahuddin Noman Chowdhury, Ambassador of the People's Republic of Bangladesh to Nepal, former President of NCWA and NCWA members, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I feel highly honored to welcome Minister for Foreign Affairs, Honorable Pradeep Kumar Gewali, Excellency Ambassador of Bangladesh to Nepal, and other respected personalities who are participating in this webinar on state visit to Bangladesh by Honorable President of Nepal, bilateral cooperation between Nepal and Bangladesh. Right Honorable President, Mrs. Bidya Devi Bhandari's 2 days visit to the Bangladesh on 22 and 23rd of March 2021 was result-oriented and successful. A historic achievement was made on third country transit trade during this visit. As you all know that Nepal and Bangladesh have been enjoying friendly and cordial relations since the establishment of diplomatic relations and have been sharing commonalities on major regional and global issues. During the meeting, Right Honorable President with her Bangladeshi counterpart President Hamid and Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, matter of mutual interest and bilateral cooperation were discussed. During the President visit, the two nations signed 4 MoUs on tourism cooperation, cultural exchange program, and cultural exchange program and strengthening, sanitary and sanitary cooperation. These 3 MoUs are significant in their own terms. But a MoU in transit route between Nepal and Bangladesh and for third country is a milestone on boosting the bilateral trade. The MoU of exchange of letters on designation of Rohanpur-Singabad railway route as an additional transit route for the movement of traffic in transit between Nepal and Bangladesh, and also for the third country transit route is monotonous not only for Nepal and Bangladesh, but also for the whole region for enhancing bilateral and multilateral connectivity. In this respect, both countries have to forge the understanding with India. It requires a trilateral understanding, which has already been asserted. MoU and tourism is another remarkable step which stress the importance of tourism in economic development and better understanding of the way of life, history, and cultural heritage of the both countries. Nepal is known as an exotic destination in the Himalayan region with a fascinating natural and cultural attraction. Nepal has attracted tourists from across the globe who came to enjoy its natural beauty as well as centuries-old tangible and intangible cultural heritage. In the same way, Bangladesh offers best travel leisure possible. Bangladesh is a land mixed with the natural beauty, with tremendous history, sea beaches and wildlife, sanitary, etc. Despite the close geographical proximity, there is a minimal exchange of tourists between Nepal and Bangladesh. Bangladesh sends about 35,000 tourists to Nepal annually, which flow of tourists from Nepal to Bangladesh is negligible. There is a need to explore means to enhance the connectivity, air, road, and trade, or air, road, and rail between the two countries to enhance and promote the tourism, and also operation of the long dormant BBIN motorable vehicle agreement has remained pending on Nepal side following the successful trial run of Dhaka Kathmandu direct bus service in April 2018. The MBA could be a positive impact on tourism, particularly for province 1 and 2 of Nepal and northwestern Bangladesh, since that will provide a short budget package tours between these two regions. The economy of Bangladesh is a developing market economy. It's the 35th largest in the world nominal terms and 30 largest by purchasing power parity. It is classified among the next 11 emerging market middle income economies and frontier market. Its GDP per capita is $2,064. In comparison to Nepal, have only $1,084. Bangladesh is one of the world's fastest growing economy. Bangladesh is going to graduate from underdeveloped to developing economy earlier than Nepal. With all hard works and continuing efforts of Bangladesh is able to secure this position. Nepal can review the positive aspect of Bangladesh's policies and strategy and then replicate according to the Nepal's interest. Another important area of cooperation between the two countries is power trade. Demand for electricity in Bangladesh is projected to reach 40,000 megawatt by 2030. The total installed capacity is about 20,000 megawatt. Government and private sector of the both countries needs to work out seriously to develop some projects and try to meet the demands of Bangladesh. Nepal and Bangladesh had already agreed to use the existing setup of Indian transmission to trade power in the short run. That is dedicated transmission line passing through the Siliguri in India. India has already amended the rules to facilitate the transmission for the power trade purpose between Nepal and Bangladesh. Let's hope that today's webinar will be quite useful to strengthen the bilateral relations between the two countries, the people-to-people relations between the two countries, as well as to contribute the prosperity of the both countries. Thanks for listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President, for a very enlightening speech. Potential for development of tourism potential as well as the power trade potential between the two countries. Thank you. Now I would like to request His Excellency Mr. Salahuddin Noman Chaudhary for his address.
Thank you very much, Honorable Foreign Minister, a respected President of NCWA, distinguished NCWA members, distinguished participants. Namaste and very good afternoon to all of you. It is my great pleasure to attend this webinar. And thank you very much, Hemantaji, for inviting me to this important seminar to discuss the Bangladesh-Nepal relationship. Bangladesh and Nepal has the best of the relations, if I may say the least, and that originates right from the beginning of Bangladesh, right from the birth of Bangladesh, when the people of Nepal gave generous support, the government of Nepal gave generous support to Bangladesh during the liberation war. And after the liberation, Nepal was one of the very first countries to recognize Bangladesh. So we remain grateful to the people of Nepal for that gesture during our birth. Another reason for our closeness is that we have similarity in many areas. We have the same socio-economic indicators. Our social economic development level is almost the same. Our aspirations for development is also similar. As countries, we are also making progress gradually with respect to development, and we are expecting that we will graduate at the same time from LDC to middle income countries. And again, we have same challenges. The development challenges that we have are almost the same. Say, for example, we have the challenges of climate change. We also have challenges of market access in developed countries, also have challenges in finding opportunities for employment in other countries. So all these challenges, all these developmental challenges makes us very close. And that is why we work very closely in all international platforms, including the United Nations, WTO, UNCTAD, SAARC, BIMSTEC, and so on. Therefore, nothing could be more gratifying for an ambassador like me of a developing country to be posted in a country where we have all types of similarities in our situation and similarities in our views. Although I arrived last December when there was a special situation and the scopes for socialization was very limited, but it was very satisfying for me to see that it was a time for very intense engagement in Bangladesh-Nepal relationship. The Right Honorable President visited us only a week before. In fact, our president also visited Nepal just before the COVID in 2019, and also the Honorable Foreign Minister had visited in 2020. So one visit was due from the Nepalese side, and for me it was not surprising, because when I met the President of Bangladesh just before coming to Kathmandu, he said that your first task will be to bring my Nepalese friend to Bangladesh. So when I received a call from the Foreign Ministry here that the Right Honorable President is going to Bangladesh, I said to myself that my task has become very easy, and I thank God for that. So this visit was very significant for us because it was the first visit of the Right Honorable President after the COVID pandemic, and for us it is a glowing tribute from the Nepalese people to the memory of the father of the nation of Bangladesh, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and it is a testimony of our very close relationship between the people of the two countries. And we took opportunity of this visit by making some substantial progresses in some areas of our trust, like trade, connectivity, people-to-people contact, and tourism. and we signed 4 agreements, as Umesh has already mentioned, and Khalil also mentioned. But as I talk about these areas of trust, let me allow to share my discomfort on some of the issues. As you know, sir, when I interact with people, people ask me what is the relationship between Bangladesh and Nepal. So while answering that question, I speak my heart and say that we are very, very close, and we have our linkages which are civilization wide. We have our linkages, linguistic, cultural, historic, and geographical linkages. But while I say this, I also fear about how to answer the next question which is coming. So the next question is, what is the trade between the two countries? So I do not have any satisfactory answer to that, because the trade level, the trade volume is so minimum that I cannot explain that why we have so much of comfort in the relationship between the leadership level, but at the same time we do not have much trade between our two countries. And I'm sure that we will find many countries which are very distant from us, but we have more trade between than our own two countries. So I think time has come for us to seriously look into it. And in spite of having much goodwill between the leadership and also at the working levels, we could not translate the relationship to meaningful trade volumes. So what I emphasize at this point, that at working level, at the government level, we have to work for removing all the barriers of trade that exist between our two countries. We have to remove all the confusions and the misinterpretations of rules at the working level for the mutual benefit of trade. I strongly believe that we can benefit by importing yarn. I mean, Bangladesh can benefit by importing yarn from Nepal, and also importing fruits, vegetables, spices, and heavy items like boulders, which is a new avenue for us to import from Nepal. And there is a tremendous eagerness in Bangladesh to import hydropower from Nepal also. Similarly, Nepal can also import textile, jute, leather goods, pharmaceuticals at much cheaper prices from Bangladesh. So there are scopes for investment in garments, pharmaceuticals, tourism, and hydropower in both the countries. I mean, it's mutual. We can invest in hydropower in Nepal, and Nepal can invest in tourism in Bangladesh also. So there are mutuality in all the sectors. So this visit, I think, is a milestone in our relationship, and at the working level, a momentum has been generated, as I see, and we have to work on this momentum. We have to take it forward to create interdependence in our economies for our mutual benefit. And I feel happy that the 4 agreements were signed, and which will take our relationship much forward. And lastly, I would like to mention that we were so happy to see the cultural delegation from Nepal to Bangladesh, who had presented a very vibrant, colorful, and enjoyable cultural program, and which was telecast live in Bangladesh during the visit. And the President Bhandari's speech also on the centenary celebrations touched the hearts of every Bangladeshi. So at this point of time, at our levels, at working levels, we have no option but to take the relationship forward. And in 2-3 months time, I am sure that we will be able to conclude the preferential trade agreement that we are negotiating. The two countries are negotiating, and that would be a leap forward in our relationship. I thank Hemant ji for inviting me to this webinar, and with this, I would like to conclude my remarks. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for your very inspirational speech. And you have really touched upon the potentials for tourism as well as hydropower and also trade between the two countries. I would like just to inform you, last year we had a one-day seminar here on Nepal-Bangladesh trade relation. Your predecessor ambassador, Madam Ambassador, was very much vocal on this, giving the importance to the whole gamut of relations between the two countries. Anyway, now I would like to request Honorable Foreign Minister, Mr. Pradeep Kumar Giwali, for your keynote speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Umesh. Mr. Hemant Kharel, Chairperson of the Nepal Council of World Affairs, Excellency Salahuddin Chaudhary, Ambassador of Bangladesh to Nepal, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. Namaskar and good afternoon. At the outset, I would like to express my sincere thanks to NCWA for hosting this very important interaction program virtually and providing me the opportunity to say a few words on Nepal-Bangladesh relations, focusing especially on the recent concluded state visit of Right Honorable President Bidya Devi Bhandari to Bangladesh. We all know Nepal and Bangladesh are very close friends, and we are enjoying very close, friendly, and cooperative relationship ever since we established our diplomatic relations in April 1972. Geographically, our two countries are only a short distance away from each other. This geographical proximity, similar culture, tradition, mutual support, and the similar type of challenges we are facing on our development journey have created a solid foundation of our excellent bilateral relation. Two important phenomena I would like to mention, especially here, that is Excellency Salahuddin just mentioned. Nepal's support and participation on the Bangladesh National Independence War, Liberation War, and Bangladesh generous support on our diversification of transit facility has added a new value on our relation. Against this backdrop, this high-level
निराजनजी
हजुर सर मन्त्रीजीको कनेक्सन गए जस्तो लाग्यो
उताको प्रब्लम मन्त्रीजी कहाँको प्रब्लम हो कि के हो
हजुर हो सर
आउनुहुन्छ होला एकछिनमा निराजनजी
हजुर
उतापट्टि त ठिक छ भन्छ, हाम्रो यतैबाट के प्रब्लम भयो कि अब हेरौँ त।
हजुर यताबाट त छैन सर प्रब्लम भएको, नत्र त अरूलाई नि प्रब्लम हुनुपर्ने। एकपल्ट रिजोइन हुन लाउनु पर्यो।
समस्या छ।
एकपल्ट रिजोइन गराउन लाउनु पर्यो, यताबाट त ठिक छ भन्छ। यस्तै हो यो टेक्निकल कुरोमा कहिलेकाहीँ समस्या हुन्छ। एकपल्ट रिजोइन गर्नु न, भइहाल्छ। Foreign Minister Office, they are trying to rejoin, sometimes happen like this.
Yes, sometimes it happens. So, yeah.
मन्त्रीजीको अनम्युट त अनम्युट छ हैन निराजनजी?
हजुर जोइन गरिसक्नु भएको छ।
ए ल ओके।
Hello. Sounding is okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Sorry for disturbances. I am wondering when I was missed. So I would like to go a little bit back. Thank you again, the organizers, for providing me this important opportunity. I was just talking about our historical relation with Bangladesh. As we all know, Nepal and Bangladesh are enjoying a very excellent level of bilateral relation, which is very close, friendly, and cooperative. Ever since we established our diplomatic relation in April 1972, our relation has been growing more stronger, more profound, and more elevated in a newer height in the days we have passed. And we have some very special ingredients in our relation which are worth mentioning, I would like to say. And among that, one important thing is just Excellency Ambassador mentioned, Nepali people, they wholeheartedly supported the liberation war of Bangladesh. And Nepal was one of the first country who recognized the newly born Bangladesh. And Bangladesh is the country which has been providing us the transit facility to make Nepal land link rather than the landlocked. So these features are contributing to further strengthen our relation and making our foundation very, very solid. Against this backdrop, the recent visit of Right Honorable President to Bangladesh was historical in many respects, and it was very successful if we talk about the outcomes of this visit. This visit was organized on the occasion of the birth centenary of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the father of the nation of Bangladesh. It was an opportunity for government of Nepal, Nepali people, and Right Honorable President to pay tribute to this esteemed leader of this region. We all know Bangabandhu is a towering personality of South Asia. And even the 4 decades after of his sacrifice, he is inspiring millions of people of the region and the world. So it was an important opportunity for us to express our respect and homage to him. During this visit, both leaders of both sides, they discussed in a very cordial and warm atmosphere. They spoke their hearts and minds. I especially would like to mention the very cordial discussion between Right Honorable President Bidya Devi Bhandari and Her Excellency Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, when they not only praised each other's sacrifice, hard life, and contribution to their nation, but both leaders expressed that they have been inspired by each other's contribution and personality. Entire aspects of the mutual issues of mutual concerns were covered during their conversation. They discussed about excellent level of bilateral relation, and they discussed how we can further strengthen and elevate in a newer height to this relation. They discussed, it was a coincidence that both Nepal and Bangladesh were recommended to be graduated from least developed status by the Committee for Development Policy of UN this year, and we are going to be graduated by 2026 simultaneously. It is a very positive coincidence, and we have similar type of development challenges in front of us. Both leaders discussed how we can serve at level based to our people, and how we can strengthen our partnership in various fields. They covered the connectivity, they covered the power trade, they covered the enhancement of mutual trade, which is in a moderate level. They covered and they explored the ways to further enhance, further promote the tourism and cultural exchanges. And most importantly, both leaders discussed about the growing challenge of climate change. As we all know that we both countries are the most vulnerable countries in terms of climate risk. Our snow-capped Himalayas are melting down very fastly, and it is contributing the downstream negative impact, and it is contributing to the sea level rise in Bangladesh, which is a big challenge for Bengali people as well. So they discussed entire gamut of our relation, and they expressed their commitment, and they directed the concerning authorities to make a clear-cut roadmap for the enhancement of our relation and to tap the potentials we both have. We all know that we are living in the complementarity. Nepal is basically a mountain country, and Bangladesh is a plain country, and our production patterns, our requirement of energy or power, our interest in tourism, all these factors can play a complementary role in our mutual relation. And both leaders discussed in all these issues, and they formally made a commitment that we will push forward, we will give a new impetus, give a new momentum in our relation. So this bilateral discussion was very, very productive, very warm, and very meaningful. As we just discussed, that we signed for very important outcome documents, which are very, very important. I would like to express my sincere thanks to the Bangladesh government on behalf of government of Nepal for the generous support to a conclusion of these very important outcome documents. The documents include the letter of exchange to designation of Rohanpur-Singabad railway route as an additional transit route for movement of traffic in transit between Nepal and Bangladesh, and also for third country transit trade. That is an amendment to Nepal-Bangladesh transit agreement. This route will provide us a very robust opportunity to reduce our transit cost, because if we compare our already existing transit traffic with the Haldia-Raxaul route, it is less than half in distance, and it is very, very cost effective. So, and it will provide a new opportunity to especially our Biratnagar port to develop. So we think that this is a very important outcome document. Similarly, the Memorandum of Understanding on tourism cooperation provides us an opportunity to boost the tourism industry, to enhance the tourist activities, and to creating a conducive environment for tourism. In this regard, we are looking forward to the possibility of some regional air connectivity like Biratnagar, Saidpur, and other destinations as well, which will definitely provide a new momentum in our tourism. Similarly, the cultural exchange program for 2020 to 2025 will also give the impetus to cultural exchanges, to learn from each other's culture, and to create a people-to-people connection more enhanced level. And similarly, the on strengthening sanitary and phytosanitary cooperation will provide us an opportunity to share the experiences, information, and it will definitely contribute to further expand our trade, especially in agriculture and livestock.
To निरञ्जनजी फेरि आए जस्तो फेरि
हजुर फेरि कनेक्सन गयो मन्त्रीजीकोमा कनेक्सन गयो
That's the problem.
Hello. Sorry for disturbances. Before conclude, I would like to express my views that this high-level visit has provided us an overall guideline for future course of our relation. Based upon the understanding and common resolve between the leaders of both sides, we will make a concrete action plan to implement it. As Excellency Ambassador mentioned about the ongoing discussion and the negotiation on preferential trade agreement, Nepal is eager to finalize it so that both countries can feel a win-win situation. The current trade balance with Bangladesh is not in favor of Nepal. So we want to have more favorable type of situation in our trade. And we have asked our Bangladeshi friends to take positively Nepal's concern on that regard. And we hope that we will reach in common consensus in near future so that we can utilize the vast opportunities in trade sector. After the implementation of our agreements on connectivity, on power trade, and on various issues, I hope and I am quite confident that our relation will witness a new level of upgradation, in new level of partnership in the future. And in this regard, this visit has been very, very meaningful and fruitful. Before conclude, I would like to once again thank the Bangladeshi people and the government of Bangladesh for the excellent organization of this visit and the very warm welcome and hospitality provided us to Nepali delegation. We have been deeply moved by the hospitable people of Bangladesh. The overall environment was quite impressive, and right, our President has been deeply impressed by the overall aspect of this visit. With this note, I would like to conclude my remarks, and I will be very happy to discuss later on with the distinguished participants. Thank you. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Mr. Honorable Foreign Minister, for your very interesting and impressive presentation on Nepal-Bangladesh relations. You have touched upon the multiple dimensions of Nepal-Bangladesh relations. You have highlighted the possibility in the sector of connectivity, trade, transit, tourism, and also our possible dialogue on climate change. In short, what we have really said is that Nepal's Himalayas can really complement the coastal sea areas of Bangladesh, if you talk in that sense. Anyway, now I would like to request our honorable participants either to raise your hand and give your comments, or you can also write in the chat box if you want. Thank you. Please try to be very brief and short in your presentations.
I had a question, please. I had a question.
Thank you. Please go ahead.
This is a little bit long, but a serious question. a rumor was spreaded by a so-called educated person saying that Nepalese girls studying medicine in Bangladesh were sexually involved with their teachers in order to pass the MBBS examination. In my opinion, I think that this saying was quite sexist, and I request for our honorable foreign minister and Mr. Ambassador to give their opinion and explain on this issue, because it is a great issue for all Nepalese girls studying in Bangladesh. Thank you.
Okay, some other questions?
Shall I make a comment? Yes, from my side.
Yes, please.
If I
Please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
should I respond? In fact, I'm not aware of.
Shall I make a comment or question?
First, let Your Excellency give the explanation first.
I'm not aware of any such complaints. It may be omission from my part also, but if there is some allegations, we will of course take action against it, and it cannot happen. I mean, we will take punitive actions if such incidents have taken place. But I would request you to kindly supply me some proof or any evidence of any such complaint so that I can take it up with Dhaka.
Thank you. Any more questions or queries, please?
Yes, from my side. Can
Yes,
you
please. Yes, yes, we
Can
can
you
hear
hear
you.
me?
Yes, yes,
Can I speak?
yes.
So my question or comment about the hydropower investment or FDI from Bangladesh. So we have been hearing in news, lot of news, but when we look at the news, it seems Bangladesh is very much interested to invest in hydropower projects, that also big ones, maybe 100, 200, 300 megawatts. So if that happens, I'm sure it will be one of the biggest FDI from the neighboring country. So that way, I think we should be more proactive than the Bangladesh government on this aspect. But it seems, I think either there is no news, even if there is something is happening in the government. If there is something is happening, I think we should, the public should know about one of the very much, you can say, esteemed corporation or one of the biggest FDI from a neighboring country in the hydropower sector. So that way, I think, I'm not sure the government is taking initiatives. We should sort of make a red carpet welcome to the Bangladesh government for investing in hydropower projects in Nepal. Thank you.
So should we take some more questions before I am answering the queries? So, Your Excellency, would you like to respond to this question?
On this particular issue of hydropower import, I think there was an MoU between Bangladesh government and GMR for import of hydropower. But after that, this COVID pandemic started, and things have not progressed. And I am hoping that after the situation improves, I think the dialogue would start again between Bangladesh and the companies involved in investment. We are actually looking forward to a visit from Bangladesh side to explore and to take it forward.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you.
In this connection, I would also like to mention that I sometimes see interest in Nepal to go to Bangladesh for discussion, as you have mentioned that the Nepalese side should also go to Bangladesh and also to discuss with the local partners who would be interested to invest, and they will go after the situation improves. I mean, only last week I met some people who are very interested to go to Bangladesh and discuss.
Hello.
Any more questions?
Hello. Mo PB Shah boleko mero.
Honorable Foreign Minister would like to speak.
Can I ask
Yes.
one question? Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. My question is to Honorable Minister that UN Committee for Development Policy, you spoke about this also, has set Nepal and Bangladesh eligible for graduation from LDC to developing country, middle income country from 2026. Both have met or close to meet 3 indicators. I think Nepal has to meet one more is per capita GNI, but Bangladesh has met all 3 index. However, the challenges after graduation will be losing the export destination and duty-free, quota-free access, enjoying 2026, and trade intellectual property right for example, for pharmaceutical, etc. The crucial will be resource gap and ODA and development assistant decline. So how to make synergy between implementation of Istanbul Plan of Action for LDC and Agenda 2030. As question of smooth and sustainability also arise, both for Nepal and Bangladesh after graduation at the same time as a close neighbor too. How you foresee to share experience and help each other for mutually benefit and sustain after the graduation? This is a kind of, it's not exactly a question, but it is something like a suggestion as well as how we can cooperate each other in Nepal to sustain after graduation. Do you foresee to develop some mechanism at the political level? Thank you very much. I'm PB Shah, I'm Formula Master.
Yes, thank you. Excellency, you want to speak something?
Yeah.
Yeah, Minister, please.
Yeah.
Honorable Minister, please.
Thank you, all the participants, for this very important and active participation and discussion. So for the first question about the rumor on sexual harassment of students in Bangladesh, it has not been proved. Last year, 2 years back, there was some rumor, but from based upon the various cross-examinations, we have found this issue just a rumor. Thousands of Nepali people, they are checking their higher education especially in medical science and engineering in Bangladesh. And many Bangladeshi people are also, students are also studying in Nepal, especially in the Buddhism studies and pharmacy. Both governments are trying their best to facilitate their higher education, to establish a conducive environment for the better educational climate for them. So if there are any evidences and proof, we can inform the government or concerning authorities. Otherwise, such type of rumors only contribute to create unnecessary misunderstanding between the governments and the people. So from the government of Nepal, I would like to say that so far there is no any evidence of such type of negative behavior against Nepali students studying in Bangladesh. Sugatratna Kansakarji told about the FDI from Bangladeshi business community in hydro sector on Nepal. Excellency, Ambassador just mentioned about the power trade MoU and power cooperation, which was signed in 2018. And we are eagerly waiting the implementation of our understanding. One of the major aspects of that understanding and the ongoing project is the Upper Karnali project, which is going to be built by GMR of India. The unnecessary delay has been creating worry to us, and we have very often asked our Indian counterparts to accelerate the process, to expedite the process, so that this very important hydropower project cannot prolonged for infinite future. It should be implemented at earliest so that we can materialize the dream of sub-regional power trade with Bangladesh. And very recently, the Indian government has revised the guideline of power trade, and it has provided an opportunity for both countries to use the existing grid connection and other infrastructure facility of India to the power trade between Nepal and Bangladesh. So I hope that we can implement and we can materialize this very long-awaited power trade between Nepal and India, Bangladesh. So far, the foreign direct investment from Bangladeshi business community is concerned. Nepal is always ready to welcome and to provide necessary facility to the Bangladeshi entrepreneurs who are interested to invest in Nepal's huge potential of hydropower sector. Mr. Saha, Ambassador Saha raised very important question about the graduation and post-graduation scenario. I fully agree with his points that this graduation should be sustainable, irreversible, and it should addressed properly. After the graduation, definitely both countries will lose some of our facilities, especially we are enjoying the professional trade agreements with Europe, US, and many other countries that can be reduced. ODA will definitely reduce, and other facilities may be impacted. However, the graduation will provide us a new picture of our both countries. It will depict both nations that these are the emerging economies. The investment climate is good. The rate of return on investment will be very lucrative. So this message will outweigh the cost which can facilities which can be reduced after the graduation, and we both countries can share our experiences share our preparations for the sustainable graduation, and definitely we are ready and we want to learn from the Bangladeshi experiences on this regard, because Bangladesh is a bit ahead in many terms in development trajectory. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello. Yeah, Dr. Dwarima Dungel. If you don't have any more queries, I think we'll go ahead for the conclusion of this webinar program.
Dwargaji, questions or just my remarks?
There is one question from Mr. Toyanath about the multilingualism in Bangladesh. In fact, you know that Bangladesh gives tremendous importance to mother language and multilingualism. He wanted to know about any instance of promoting multilingualism in our country. I can inform him that we have a small community of Chakma and Garo in our hilly districts. We are now trying to print textbooks in their own language for their primary education. So in that way, we are also promoting multilingualism in our country in those areas. It's very small pockets, but we are trying to.
Thank you, Excellency. Mr. Rajiv Kumar.
Rajiv Kumar was a question. Rajiv Kumar, the chat box.
I think the question that has been raised by the Rajiv Kumar, the answer has been already given by His Excellency. So if we do not have any more queries and questions, we'll go to conclude this program.
Dungel has some question, I suppose. Dungel.
I've called his name, but he has, I don't think he's there. Okay. Okay, Biraj Pradhanji.
I'm here. I have put a remark in the chat box. If you allow, I would speak.
Very good.
Okay.
I'm calling your name since last couple of minutes.
Yeah, yes. I have put a comment and remark in the chat box. If you allow, I would speak.
Please speak.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me and inviting for this webinar. And I would like to congratulate both the minister and the ambassador for their presentation. With regard to the power sector, let me caution them, because I have worked in this field for a long time. And for the first time, it was in 1998 in an international seminar organized in Dhaka. We represented the government of Nepal. And since then, in the Track 2 project also, we are involved. And I hope, my only wish, because the recent revision of India's revision of the guidelines has been referred to. But may I just remind Foreign Minister and Excellency Ambassador that the government of India has reserved its right to allow or not to allow the power produced by any power producer to use its infrastructure to export power from Nepal. So having said that, I would like you continue to pursue the matter with the government of India so that it will not exercise the discretionary power, because we have been studying Indian power scenario for a long time. And some of us have been studying the guidelines developed, revised by the government of India. So whatever Bangladesh, I know, is interested in terms of investment and wants to have the power from Nepal, but so long as there is no liberal system being adopted by India to allow to use its infrastructure, I wish it would be a mere, I think it would be a mere wish on the part of us, meaning in Nepal and in Bangladesh, to get the power. So in this regard, there are a lot of studies done, but some of us have already done and people are doing it. So therefore, I would like to request both the government of Nepal and Bangladesh to look into guidelines developed by India seriously before saying, before telling us that there has been change in the guidelines prepared by India. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Dwarika Dhungal. Dr. Vishnu Bhandari, you have also given some question in the chat box. Huh?
Thank you, sir, for the time. I just like to address my question to Honorable Minister that you've talked very nicely about the transit facilities and power trade. My question is also related to Dr. Dhungal's thing. Would it be possible to bring this thing into reality without the active support, cooperation, and help of India? Because just now, Mr. Dwarika Dhungal has mentioned about the India's reservation on the guideline. That's for Honorable Minister. And to our excellent, His Excellency Ambassador, what are the opportunities of market access between these two countries? Would you like to just make a comment? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Honorable Minister, you want?
Yeah, I would like to just touch on the remarks. Thank you, Dwarika Dhungal sir, for your very pertinent concern about the revised guidelines of Government of India. I have just say that let us start and examine. If there will be any problem, we can discuss. I agree with the points raised by Mr. Vishnu Bhandari as well, that the support and the collaboration of India is very, very important to have the sub-regional power trade between Nepal and Bangladesh. So in this regard, both countries are frequently asking our Indian friends to provide necessary support on this regard, not only for the power trade, but for the third country transit trade. India's support is extremely important, and we have asked Indian friends that only the prosperous, developed environment will provide the and contribute the development and prosperity of India as well. If neighboring countries are facing many, many development challenges, India alone cannot move ahead. So the collaboration, cooperation among the neighboring countries are extremely important. So we hope that we can use the existing infrastructures for power trade, though we are asking and we are and dedicated infrastructure and framework to for power trade between Nepal and Bangladesh. But if they are ready, that both countries can utilize their existing mechanisms of infrastructure, we are also ready to utilize it. Let us test, let us exercise, and let us practically know where are the bottlenecks, what are the problems. Once we can introduce, then we can gradually
I think again you have some problem. Huh?
I also want to echo with the Honorable Minister when he says that we are also engaged with India on this issue, particular issue of power trade. I think we have to agree. All the three countries must agree on a platform whereby we can import power from Nepal and we using the Indian grid. And in that way, the sub-regional cooperation will surely increase. India is very eager for connectivity. We are also eager, Nepal is also eager. So it has to be a win-win-win mechanism for all the three countries for not only the trade of goods and services, but also power trade. As Mr. Vishnu Bhattacharya also wanted to know the areas of trade from between the two countries, I can identify that there is opportunity for import of fruits and vegetables from Nepal to Bangladesh, as well as spices. And recently I have seen the interest of Bangladeshi importers to import boulders from Nepal for construction projects in Bangladesh. There are many other items which we can explore exporting from Nepal to Bangladesh. And from Bangladesh, we can also export garments, jute, leather products, electronics at cheaper prices, at competitive prices than the other countries would provide. These are the areas where we can cooperate. Our two countries can cooperate.
Okay, thank you, Excellency. I think Dr. Kamal Shrestha has put one question to His Excellency. Dr. Kamal Shrestha, can you ask your queries to His Excellency? Dr. Kamal Shrestha.
He has asked.
Okay, now I can speak. Thank you. Thank you very much. I have put a question on your chat box, Your Excellency, and I don't mind repeating it. I want to just say that after 25 years of experience in nuclear science in Bangladesh, you have matured enough to install 1,000 megawatt nuclear power plant, and you are planning for the next one too, to solve your load shedding problem and your energy crisis, etc., etc. And I'm glad that you are looking forward for the cooperation with Nepal in the hydropower and other things too. My question, however, is that since you have 25 years of nuclear science experience and you are also using nuclear science in all-round developments, is it possible for Nepal to seek cooperation in nuclear science with your country? Thank you.
Dr. Shrestha, in our case, the nuclear power plant has not yet started. We are building it. It will be commissioned in 2023. So after that, we will be thinking about cooperation with other countries. I think as of now, there has not been any proposal from Nepalese side or any other country's side, countries for cooperation, because we are yet to start our own plant as of now.
Thank you, Excellency. I think now Minister is already leave. So Biraj Pradhanji, can I request you to give a vote of thanks? Biraj Pradhan.
हजुर मन्त्रीजी हुनुहुन्छ सर यहाँ जोइन हुनुहुन्छ
So Biraj Pradhan ji, can you give the vote of thanks? Nirajan.
Yeah. Now I can speak. Thank you. I'm Biraj Pradhan. I'm Chartered Accountant and Executive Member of NCWA. I'd like to give our special thanks to Honorary Foreign Minister, Mr. Pradeep Kumar Gyawali, sir, and also His Excellency Ambassador of People Republic of Bangladesh, Mr. Salahuddin Norman Chowdhury. I'd also like to thank NREN, Mr. Nirajan Parajuli for arranging all the technical help in Zoom. I'd also like to thank our President, Mr. Hemanta Sir, for conducting such a webinar where we could discuss about Bangladesh and what was the visit during our president there and the cooperations that we can continue. I'd also like to thank all the experts, all the right questions, and all the attendees for making this a successful program. With this, I'd like to hand over back to our president, or I think I should give it back to the coordinator, Vice President, Mr. Umesh. Thank you.
So,
Okay, thank you, Biraj.
Adjourn the meeting now.
Yeah.
So, with the kind permission of the President, Hemant Kharil, we would like to conclude this session.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Honorable Minister and His Excellency Ambassador and all our friends who actively participate in this webinar. Thank you to all.
Thank you all, and namaste to all.
Yes, namaste, Ambassador Saab, once again. Okay, thank you.